For example, I've always wondered, we have VTCs training people, mechanics, drivers, but when it comes to our adverts, we say you must have a D+ from 4, I don't know D+. Where is that law, legal counsel? You may think there's no law like that. You can just decide people who are supposed to be working in the environment, sweepers, come with a Form 4 certificate or with a Class 8 certificate, and they're employed. We'll be able to get PWDs from that.
Chair, with your indulgence, a quick observation. I want to reject the notion that PWDs are not qualified. That's pedestrian, Chair. Because every job has a description. Even when we're hiring the IEBC commissioners, any independent officers, you will always find PWD people who are qualified for those positions. Chair, I remember when we were processing the County Attorney Act, when I was chair and then, I used to be powerful, Sifuna, before you came. When I was the chair and then, one of the requirements was that we need a county attorney who is 7 years experience as a practicing advocate. Many people rejected, especially from certain parts of this country, saying you cannot get a lawyer who can come and work, for example, in a region like Mandera or somewhere in Busia. But when the law passed, there were so many advocates who applied for those positions. So it is similar argument, Chair, that we should not reduce this conversation to the qualifications of PWDs. These are affirmative decisions that the governor must give us practical solutions to this issue. Because if we just leave this room and the governor says, you know, the PWDs are not mostly qualified, I can tell you for free from my interactions as a leader in this country, there are so many PWDs people who are qualified. And by the way, they are talented in some ways that some of you might not believe. So that might not believe, Chair. So, Chair, let me rest it there. But I just wondered, because Governor has captured it very well by saying this is an affirmative position. That's why I asked a simple question. Out of these 69 employees, 51 of them are PWDs. I asked him a simple question. How many, since he came to office, including maybe even partner staff? You can say one of my partisan staff is a PWD, for example. So my question, Chair, if the governor can just answer, I know there have been a staff attrition, a few hiring. How many since he came to office that he has hired, including even his own partisan staff?
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I can answer that question very fast. But you see, to say that I said that no people living with disabilities who are not qualified in Kenya is completely missing the point, and misinterpreting what I was saying. I didn't mean that. Number two, at the very senior level in the county government of Trans Nzoia, I have got a CC who is a person living with disability and is here. I have a chief officer who is on a wheelchair. How many counties are like that in this country?
I think just speak for Trans Nzoia.
Those are very, very deliberate efforts that we make for purposes of inclusion. And that's why I'm proposing that every time you say 5% is reserved for people with disabilities, can it be reserved? And will not be filled until we get people with disabilities from wherever. That can serve us better. Then it means we're going even to go down in terms of quality and wave. Mr. Chairman, I remember when I was in the provincial administration, we used to say that to be a chief, you must have a C, play. But there are counties in this republic where you couldn't get C anywhere. And there are chiefs who are employed with the KCP. They're on the payroll. The same can apply to people with disabilities. Like Honorable Sifuna was saying, in this country, how many people with visual impairment has KCS certificates? There are very, very, very few. So if you are rigid and you are saying everybody applying for this position must have these minimum qualifications, then we are going to lock out all these people, in spite of the fact that we have made provisions for them.
Now, if you we need to close this argument. If you go by the
maybe you can just stand, you see him.
No. It's okay.
You can see the disability, really.
No, it's okay. We don't want. Just take your seat. Just take your seat.
Honorable Chair, let me make a contribution to that very important debate. Maybe we must come from a point of some information. I come from a village. We are 4, and we sit as a community. 3 of them never went beyond class 8. And when the jobs are advertised, the minimum requirement cuts across. I think, Honorable Chair, with a lot of respect, it is incumbent to this Honorable House to come with a favorable law, considering the type of problems that people with disability go through. a lot of, the ceiling is just too tight for the people with disability to break. So the minimum requirement is where the
in the 2025 Crystal Asige law, in your assessment as a person living with disability, what is the deficiency?
It is the best law for us people with disability, but I don't think it considered all the parameters that needed to be considered.
If we tasked you to advise us on the amendments that should be made, because you have done our bit as Parliament, just last year in 2025, we passed a law, so that we are not just talking. We are the ones who write the laws. You are the one living with that reality. Would you be willing to do so?
The law is very progressive, and I'm willing to give meat to that law, together with the rest that are outside.
Fine. So let's leave it at that. Let's leave it at that. For now, this committee, our benchmark is a law as it is, and if it is not fulfilled, there are offences in the Act, and it is those offences that we'll refer to. Even though Senator Cherargei, you remember 2-3 days ago, the Star newspaper had a headline, which would imply that 90% of men in Nairobi are living with a disability. So this conversation might apply to you.
I think, Chair, that question should be answered properly by the area senator. If it was a matter of Nandi, I can have a local standby. But Sifuna is doing badly, we cannot account.
Chair, you know, it is these people who come from up country are the ones who are messing up the statistics in Europe. These ones from Nandi.
They are the majority of your voters.
Okay.
Now, speak for your men.
Speak for your men.
I think
don't run away from responsibility.
those of us who are in the 1%, let us now proceed. Fine. So I think there's one of the Alcoholic Control Fund. We have seen the written responses, some correspondences with a view to establishment of regulation. Let's keep that in view. The procurement capacity building levy. This one is, we are, as senators, we are struggling to understand how it works, but we'd be happy to get the view of the governor as a person with the boots on the ground. I see it coming as an audit query in almost every other county. 0.03% of all signed contracts should be put aside somewhere for capacity building. Trans Nzoia is not doing it. Why aren't you doing it, Governor?
Mr. Chairman, we've given our reasons, and very many of them, and I think most of them cut across the...
We could take your written responses, but allow you to highlight the critical areas.
Yes. Mr. Chairman, the reasons for non-deduction and remittance of the public procurement capacity building levy include: 1, absence of system-based control